Garrett, I got a new shirt.
I noticed it.
Yeah. How do you like it?
It's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do budget for chocolate milk, although I'm not always allowed to spend it.
How
on
much
chocolate milk? In all honesty, I don't drink that much chocolate milk. So, not that much. But
I guess on the weeks that you can't, fit it in the budget, you can always get out the Hershey syrup and mix it up.
Yeah, that's true.
5-year-old style.
It's still delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, so Garrett, I've got one piece of money trivia, and it's not one that I can really trivia you on.
Okay.
It's just an interesting fact, and that is apparently the majority of the U.S. currency is not in the U.S.
Like physically?
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting.
Yeah, and it actually does make sense because it says that it's mostly due to the fact that the U.S. dollar is the world's primary reserve currency. So, it's almost like, I'm not super privy to all the economic talk behind what's going on here, but it's almost like the U.S. dollar is kind of the gold standard for other economies. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, more than half. That's
I wonder how much is an offshore...
Like the Cayman Islands?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Just for all those people just drinking their mojitos and...
Yeah. Hey, that sounds pretty nice right now.
Yeah.
I do have to comment. I noticed that the pumpkin spice candle is still going.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had it burning since the last time that we had a live stream, but still going strong.
All right.
So, yeah, adds a little extra warmth in these times of high propane prices. You just burn a candle instead to provide a little extra warmth.
That's a cost I've never had to deal with, is propane.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 articles today, and 2 of them are particularly good news. So we'll leave those towards the end. But we'll start with this one, that delaying big purchases, reducing debt. 76% of American adults are making lifestyle changes to prepare for a potential recession.
Yeah, that kind of goes with some things that we've discussed before in terms of like, we should do this.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me that that's what we're moving to.
Yeah. And it's good. I think that 76%, it's actually a pretty good percentage given how consumeristic our country is. So, but it goes on to say that 84% of respondents in a recent survey said that they were concerned about the recession happening, and 76% said that they are making changes. And then it gives an interesting breakdown of the ways that people are, the steps that people are taking in order to prepare for the recession. One is delaying major purchases, which, we're seeing like homes and cars. The housing market has slowed down drastically.
Yeah.
And the car market, we're like pseudo looking for a truck. And that has slowed down quite a bit as well. So you can actually look at listings and see that they've been listed for like a month now, which is actually quite a bit.
Yeah. One thing is, I don't know, I haven't looked at cars recently, but have the prices come down? I know the used car market was up.
Yeah. They are going down, I believe, in the first half of December, the first half of October. The used car prices went down about 3%.
Okay.
Which is good. And if you're looking at some of the listings online, you can see like price history, and a lot of them have gone down like $1,000 in the last 2 weeks to a month. So that's good.
Yeah.
Good news. Next is people are paying down debt, 29%. That's great.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we keep telling everyone, just, pay off your debt.
Yeah.
If you pay off your debt, that provides quite a bit of extra space in your budget for all those inflationary expenses, and especially if a recession hits and you lose your job, then that makes things quite a bit easier.
Yeah, not only security in that type of situation, but also the ability to be creative then.
Yeah.
You know, if home prices do plummet, invest in real estate, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Now is not the time for that with the interest rates up and the prices of homes, at least I think, still hanging around.
Yeah,
as of now.
Yeah, there are some pretty interesting types of investments though, where you can actually I'm not necessarily endorsing the REIT, but that's like a real estate investment trust. So
Okay.
you can invest in like a company that invests in real estate. So you're basically still getting returns from that. There are some other underlying potential issues with REITs. So, you should do your own research. But there are a lot of other companies that do that kind of thing. And so you can get the benefit of having real estate investments without having to throw $200,000 or $300,000 down on a rental property.
Yeah.
So. And then we've got 28% are planning to reduce holiday spending. Another good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
24% are allocating more income to savings. Another great thing. And 14% are staying in a job that they don't enjoy, which, is sometimes necessary.
Yeah, that is necessary in a recession specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be the new guy on the block when the block starts to burn.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. And then it goes on and talks about how key having an emergency fund and having those savings really is. It goes very drastic and says 6 months to a year's worth of income is best. And I don't disagree with that. That would be awesome for people to have that. But yeah, in this economy, it might be difficult to put your hands on that much cash. All right, this one's yours.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one that caught my eye. U.S. business equipment borrowings grew 11% in September, according to the ELFA. Basically, the ELFA issues loans to businesses for specifically equipment. I believe it's the Equipment Loan Financial something agency.
Yeah.
And so, the growing percentage there kind of shows businesses are investing at least in machinery. The first thing that came to my mind was, if you can't find employees, you got to become more efficient. So I'm sure that has something to do with it. At least where I'm at now, that's kind of the way that my company that I work for has gone towards. We have a lot of new machinery on
Mm-hmm.
order or being installed here very soon.
Yeah.
And some of that was because it's been really tough to get employees.
Yeah.
So, new bells and whistles at work. That's always fun.
Yeah.
But
and
comes
you get
with
to
the price.
Yeah, and you get to be the one that gets to try to figure out how the equipment works.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, U.S. companies borrowed 11% more in September to finance their equipment investments compared to last year. It raising doubts over the sustainability of this growth and amid the slowdown. The guy that was speaking in the article was, saying how, the market's probably going to slow down.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of companies have had a good year this year. So maybe a little extra cash flow to make these kinds of purchases happen.
Yeah.
But the probability of continued Federal Reserve interest rate increases on the horizon creates some uncertainty. So the article was detailing that, some of these guys the majority of them were locked in on fixed rates.
Oh, yeah.
So they know what they're doing.
Hey,
if we're going to make this upgrade, let's get that fixed rate right now for that.
Right.
Because you don't want to be caught, in the recession with a really bad interest rate. And guess what?
You
that
need
machine
new equipment.
has to be, upgraded.
Yeah.
So I thought that was optimistic stuff there.
That's at least some movement in the economy, I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have some other movement in the economy.
Yeah, this is one that we've talked about several times.
Yeah, quite a bit.
So after 2 years of shipping snarls, things are starting to turn around in terms of the at least the container world in out at sea. So a key benchmark for container prices is $3,689 per 40-foot container. And so that's 64% lower than this time last September.
Yeah.
So that is an outstanding percentage. To be, that's a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
So but it then went on to show, well, there's still a little bit more work to do because in the next slide there, it's still 160% higher than pre-pandemic rates.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that low. $1,420 pre-pandemic.
I didn't realize that either. That is actually fairly cheap.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Because you can fit a good amount of stuff in a 40-foot container.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Crazy. This article I found super encouraging. We've talked about the issues with student loans, especially with the student loan forgiveness recently, and just overall the way that student loans have continued to increase because higher education has continued to increase, and the government keeps footing bills for students that many can't even pay it back. So this was super interesting because a lot of colleges, according to this article on CNBC, are actually turning to no loan colleges. So it goes on to talk about how the cost of higher education is obviously creating is making it less accessible for a lot of students. You're talking for just for a state school, you're talking still 40 to 50 grand over 4 years.
Yeah.
And that there are 20 schools now that have no loan policies, and they'll meet 100% of the undergraduate's need for financial aid, which is insane.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Just the prices, it's not only that they can't attain that, it's that there's more skepticism, I think. So, we've talked about the direct, like, hey, we can go get a job for this cool wage now, and, Americans want that instant gratification.
Yeah.
So I think that has an effect on that, or will maybe in the future we'll see those numbers.
Yeah, it may. Then it goes on and says that this individual, who's kind of a spokesperson for one of the colleges, said that they started implementing their no loan policy from the 2021 to 2022 academic year. And it doesn't fix all the problems, but it is a step in the right direction, which I would agree.
Yeah.
So some of the question that comes about these no loan policies is like, how are you actually going to implement this? Because if students aren't actually taking out loans, can you just decrease the cost of education enough? Or how do you do that? Because that's a pretty massive cut in education. And actually, we'll get to that in another slide. But it says right here that the application volume at Davidson actually jumped to 6,500 applications from 4,500 applications about 15 years ago. And the no loan policy has actually helped with their enrollment and their school's yield, because they're getting some more serious applicants from it, and they're able to be very, and then the last part of it is they're saying this doesn't mean that families or that students won't still have to contribute something to their education financially, obviously, because education costs something. And so a lot of them will still be on the hook for family contributions, as well as some other costs like books and fees. There could also be work-study requirement depending on the school. So no loan doesn't mean free, but it does at least make it so that if there isn't a loan, then maybe kids can actually get their education and start off their work in the workforce on the right foot.
Yeah. I mean, just my personal opinion is no loan shouldn't mean free.
Yes.
So, if there has to be skin in the game. But I do think that the rates are astronomical and outrageous.
Yeah. Well, I think I've told you on this before, on one of our live streams before. I think that over the next 10 years, education is going to change drastically. Just in terms of what's accredited, what companies require for, for this job, you have to have a bachelor's degree. It doesn't matter what the bachelor's degree is. You just have to have one, So we'll see where that goes. I think that trade schools are going to continue growing. I think a lot of community colleges are going to continue growing, which is good because, the more competition that we have in the education space is going to help with the education prices.
Yeah. And I know, at least in my experiences of what I've heard with people I know, the community colleges are kind of adapting to that and being more centralized and focused on at least their specific area of like, these are the people that live around here. These are the people that come to our schools. This is what we're going to teach them.
Yeah.
That's relevant to the industry where we're at. And I think that's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big proponent for community colleges because I started at a community college here in Central Ohio, and that really made everything much, much cheaper. I mean, we're talking a difference of, it was like $2,500 maybe for one semester, whereas you're looking at twice that to go to Ohio State, which, I'm a Buckeye, but it's still more expensive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I think that's about it. I think that's some good news in the economy.
I was going to comment on 40 and Bucks comment.
Okay.
They're waiting for lumber to fall. I think the futures were down. So
I have heard that.
I will say, doing some ordering at work, it's still the same though.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It really hasn't changed much.
The prices are still going up a little bit, and availability is on some things.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to enjoy some of the lumber prices this weekend because I have to fix our chicken coop.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I need to completely replace a piece of siding, which those, according to my father-in-law, are very expensive. Like an arm and a leg.
Wow. Arm, like a chicken leg, or?
Yeah. Hopefully not mine.
Huh.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks everyone for joining in, and make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next live stream.